Have you ever felt like you're at, a real crossroads in your career where suddenly these unexpected opportunities pop up and demand a decision that could change everything?
Or maybe you've wondered what it really takes to jump from being, say, an IT manager to a strategic leader, someone who influences the whole business, not just the tech side.
Well, today we're diving deep into exactly that. We're looking at Chapter 19, looking forward from the adventures of an IT leader.
Right, the book by Austin, Nolan, and O'Donnell. We followed Jim Barton, the sort of accidental CIO.
And he's navigating this year of really hard-won lessons.
Yeah.
And then, bam, he gets not one, but two potentially life-changing job offers.
It's quite a story. And our mission today is really to unpack his journey using those lenses we often talk about, organizational, management, and IT issues.
Exactly. We want to connect his experiences to real-world IT service management, leadership development, basically how you become a strategic leader in information systems.
This isn't just, a recap. It's more like a blueprint.
Definitely. And as you listen, maybe think about what Jim's experiences could mean for your own path. If you find this discussion valuable, maybe share it with a colleague. Or just take a second to reflect on what stands out.
Good idea.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's Monday morning. Jim Barton, IVK's CIO, he's still kind of reeling from a phone call he just got.
Yeah, get this. It's Robert Goldman, the Robert Goldman, chairman and CEO of Earlington Financial Group, offering Jim the chief operating officer role directly.
No interview, nothing. Just, I want you for COO, say yes. And he's only got 2 days to decide. How do you even start processing that?
It's staggering, isn't it? And what's really interesting is Jim's reaction. First, pure shock, but then this dawning realization hits him.
Which is?
Just a year ago, IVK's CEO, Carl Williams, he tapped Jim, an outsider, to IT, remember BCIO. And lots of people, including his predecessor, Bill Davies, basically said he won't last 1 year.
Right, YWLOY.
Exactly. And now, here he is, being headhunted by a business legend for a massive COO job. The thought just crystallizes. I did it. I lasted a year. He didn't just scrape by. He actually succeeded.
Wow.
And this offer, it just throws into sharp relief that whole talent war thing, especially for executives who can genuinely bridge IT and business.
So it's not just about Jim personally, it's saying something bigger.
I think so, yeah. It shows that leaders who can drive innovation and stability using technology are incredibly valuable, not just in IT, but across the whole business landscape. His path really highlights this trend.
What trend is that?
The growing recognition of IT leadership talent. People like Jim who have that blend of IP understanding and business sense, they're not just staying in the CIO role anymore. They're being pulled into broader executive positions, like COO.
Because tech is fundamental now.
Precisely. And organizationally, it also shows how fast things can move at the top. Good talent gets spotted and snapped up quickly.
Okay, so Jim's mind is racing with this offer, but he has a meeting scheduled with his IT leadership team. He thinks about calling Maggie his usual confidant.
But he doesn't. Instead, he finds himself drifting towards his office whiteboard. And it's absolutely covered in notes, right? Scribbles, lessons, strategies from this crazy year he's had.
It's like he's looking for answers in his own past experiences, so let's unpack that whiteboard. What wisdom did he find there?
That whiteboard is fantastic. It's like a visual map of his leadership journey. And one of the first things he mutters is, KWYDK, know what you don't know.
Ah, his early mantra.
Yes. For an accidental CIO stepping into a totally new field, that wasn't just, a nice phrase. It was survival. Humility, asking questions, learning from the experts.
And bringing in the right people.
Critically important, yes.
Yeah.
Filling those knowledge gaps with talent and good counsel. It was absolutely essential for him to survive, and maybe more importantly, to earn the respect of his very skeptical team.
And then there's this great moment. He picks up the eraser, grins, and wipes off, YWLOY, you won't last 1 year. That prediction from Davies. Erasing it must have felt amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Such a symbolic act, isn't it? Resilience, perseverance. And from a management angle, it makes you think, what message does it send when a leader not only survives but succeeds against the odds?
Stability, confidence.
Exactly. Especially an IT department that might have seen a lot of churn. A leader sticking around, proving the doubters wrong. That builds stability, validates the team's work, boosts morale, creates a much stronger environment.
Okay, another key scribble on that board. IT management is about management. This seems obvious, but for Jim, coming from outside IT...
It was a huge realization, an aha moment, like you said in the outline. He figured out his strength wasn't necessarily deep tech knowledge, but leading people.
Applying those core management principles.
Right, things like developing talent, Managing resources effectively, setting a strategic direction, those apply everywhere, whether you're building software or managing finances. This let him focus on the business outcomes of IT, not just the nuts and bolts.
And that focus extended to things like talent, right?
Yeah.
Organizational issues.
Definitely. He specifically noted things like skill and talent MGMD, key skills, key contributors. He was actively thinking about building capability within his team.
And dealing with vendors, too.
Yes, buy smarts, not ours, and beware lone genius. It shows he was thinking about building a whole ecosystem, sourcing external help wisely, but also cultivating internal talent, fostering teamwork, turning the department into a place where people learned and innovated.
He even got ideas from that low-key tech kid at the bar.
Right, which led him to understand the importance of knowing who's best in show, adopting best practices from industry leaders, looking at competitors. It was all part of building a smarter, more effective IT organization.
He also grappled with that classic IT problem. How do you actually measure value? He had a note about resource allocation.
Yeah, 40% AP, 60% infrastructure, 40% on new applications and projects, but a whopping 60% just on infrastructure, just keeping the lights on. That highlights the often hidden cost of maintaining existing systems.
So what did he do about it?
Well, next to that, he wrote, IT costs charge back IT services. Implementing chargebacks, even if imperfect, brought transparency. It helped improve process management and, crucially, internal customer satisfaction because people started seeing what they were paying for.
Trying to answer that question, what's IT's value?
Exactly. How do we know if these investments are paying off? It's about shifting IT from just being seen as a cost center to being a strategic partner that delivers measurable business outcomes. That's what strategic CIOs do.
And he even developed his own little framework for IT investments, didn't he?
He did. He categorized projects into 3 buckets. Mandatory think essential security updates, stuff you have to do. Then ROI projects with clear incremental returns, maybe streamlining a process.
Makes sense.
And finally, OCI, his term for optionality creating investments. These were the breakthrough, potentially game-changing innovations.
So that framework helped him talk about IT spending in business terms.
Absolutely. It aligned IT spending directly with business strategy. It helped justify both the necessary keep the lights on stuff and the investments in innovation. It's basically intuitive IT governance, balancing risk and reward across the IT portfolio.
His notes also touched on dealing with the unexpected, right? Like that hacker attack.
Yeah, he learned to differentiate. For predictable challenges, he could use structured planning, kind of like classic project management or ITIL.
Right.
But for the surprises, the curveballs, he had to learn to adapt, explore options quickly, and course correct on the fly.
Which sounds a lot like an agile mindset.
It really is. And he wasn't afraid of new tech either. He noted, harness the power of new technologies, don't sweep under the rug. That showed he wanted IT to be proactive, exploring things like social media, analytics.
And you could imagine him now thinking about generative AI or advanced cloud stuff.
For sure. It's that blend. Structured governance for stability, using frameworks, maybe like ITIL, but also agile innovation to stay ahead. That's key for modern IT leaders.
And communication was huge for him, too. There was that underlined note.
Always tell your boss bad news, sirs. Twice underlined. Timely, honest communication became critical. No more weak communication. It builds trust.
And translating tech talk into business language.
Yes, he realized it took systematic effort. He had to consciously work at demystifying IT, breaking down that IT is a black box perception. This is where those soft skills really shine. It's about becoming a business communicator, an influencer, not just a tech manager.
So that whiteboard, starting empty, became this dense map of his leadership journey.
Packed with insights. And there was one more note visible, UWGDF.
Which stood for?
Ubiquitous, wildly great developers, finally. A bit cheeky, but it was a reminder that building a great team, training people, working with who you have, and making them better, that's an ongoing job. It pointed to his focus on culture and continuous improvement.
Okay, so after this year of incredible learning and growth reflected on that whiteboard, Jim's facing this COO offer from Goldman. What's going through his head now?
Well, it's a real dilemma. He's obviously tempted by this huge opportunity, maybe a return to the kind of general management path he originally envisioned. But he also feels this strong loyalty to the team he's built at IVK.
Leaving could cause problems.
Huge problems, potentially. From an organizational view, his departure could be really disruptive. Think about turnover, maybe losing momentum on projects, especially with that big infrastructure upgrade planned. It brings up classic issues of leadership succession and continuity.
And his relationship with the IVK CEO, Carl Williams, was complicated.
Very. Williams hinting Jim could be his successor was flattering, sure. But Jim still had that bitter taste from how Williams handled the security crisis, pushing ethical boundaries. So, Jim's weighing Goldman's apparent integrity against Williams' more, let's say, calculated approach. It really shows how much workplace culture and values matter in these big career choices.
It sounds like Jim had truly become that master of two worlds the book talks about.
He really had. He could speak tech with the techies, but also talk business strategy with the executives. He could translate between those worlds. That dual fluency is gold dust in today's environment.
Companies need CIOs who are strategic partners.
Exactly. Not just keeping the servers running, but actually driving business strategy. Jim's journey really shows why developing leaders with that blend of skills is so vital.
Okay, so later that same day, Jim walks into a conference room expecting a routine project meeting.
And boom, surprise. The room is packed. Almost his entire IT department is there, clapping, grinning, balloons, streamers, and a huge cake.
Greeting, congratulations, Jim, on your one-year anniversary.
Can you imagine the emotional impact? Here he is, mulling over leaving, maybe feeling a bit disconnected, and his team, the same team that was so skeptical a year ago, throws him a surprise party.
It's more than just cake, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's profound validation. It shows that the organizational culture had changed. Trust was built, teamwork was happening, they'd weathered storms together, cleared backlogs, launched new stuff, improved customer satisfaction. That cake was a symbol of a collective victory, a real testament to his management and the organizational shift.
It really underscores the human side of leadership. After all that pressure, that must have been, well, quite something.
It truly highlights that leadership is a two-way street, right? You invest in your team, you respect them, and hopefully you earn that respect back. No leader succeeds alone. And for Jim, in that moment, it must have made the thought of leaving even harder. It brought that management issue of departure right into focus.
So that evening, he goes to Vinny's bar, his usual spot where he meets his friend, the kid.
Right, the enigmatic young tech guy he'd been bouncing ideas off. Jim confides in him about the Goldman COO offer.
And the kid's reaction is unexpected.
Totally. He casually says something like, "Oh yeah, Bob Goldman, I know Bob." Jim's just floored. This scruffy kid he's been trying to recruit calls the legendary Robert Goldman Bob.
Who is this kid?
That's the big reveal. The kid is Jonathan Luce. This Jonathan Luce, founder of the tech company Dazzle, multimillionaire investor board member.
Wow.
Yeah. Jonathan just calmly explains they sit on some boards together. Jim realizes he's been getting advice from and trying to hire a tech prodigy all along. It's a great lesson about networks showing up in surprising places.
And then Jonathan throws another curveball.
He certainly does. He makes Jim a second job offer,
Yeah.
CIO, at a huge international bank like 10 times the size of IVK. And he tells Jim, "You're our #1 choice."
And Jim's reaction is still that imposter syndrome. I'm just an accidental CIO. I don't know enough IT.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Jonathan just brushes it off. He says something like, "You can't cling to not knowing anymore," echoing Jim's own early mantra. He points out Jim's proven growth, his ability to handle messy IT and understand the business.
It really drives home how valuable that combination is.
Immensely valuable. It shows why companies are making top-tier offers for CIOs who get both sides. Jonathan's bank clearly has a progressive management view. They see the CIO as strategic, maybe even future COO or CEO material. It's a powerful statement about the modern CIO role.
So Jim's left with this monumental choice. COO at Goldman's firm back to general management, or CIO at Jonathan's massive bank, doubling down on IT leadership on a global scale.
A true crossroads. And it's important that he's thinking about handling it ethically, respecting Goldman. That professionalism is key.
From an IT perspective, either role is going to be demanding.
Absolutely. The CIO role, done right, is at that intersection of tech and business strategy. Wherever he goes, he'll face challenges. Legacy systems, cybersecurity, cloud costs, maybe figuring out generative AI. The list goes on.
But he's proven he can handle it.
He has. And what he realizes, I think, is that his most transferable skill is his ability to inspire people and manage change. Plus, he's built a strong professional network with people like Maggie and now Jonathan.
His journey really shows that effective IT leadership makes you valuable way beyond the IT department.
It really does. Organizationally, A great leader lifts the whole company. Jim embodies that strategic information systems leader that's so crucial today.
So to wrap up, Jim Barton's story in Looking Forward is just this incredibly powerful look at the transformation an IT leader can go through.
Definitely. Navigating intense learning, overcoming doubts, building a team, facing huge opportunities, all while juggling those organizational management and IT pressures.
We really encourage you, as you think about this, to reflect on your own whiteboard wisdom. What are the key lessons shaping your journey? How are you prepping for your own crossroads?
Maybe consider this. In this age of constant digital change, what leadership principles do you think are most vital for IT leaders? Especially with things like generative AI shaking things up even more.
Lots to think about. Thanks for tuning in and stay strategic.